delve or dive into um, the emotional depths of persistence. And the reason I talk about persistence and emotion together is because together they allow us to move forward. And with our emotions, it takes us to a new level. So, persistence is actually nothing more than concentrated effort mixed with determination and faith. And you say, well, what is faith? Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith is an emotion, a positive emotion, one of the most powerful emotions of three that Napoleon Hill talks about. So that's what faith is. Faith is the emotion that we want to tie to persistence because it will drive us toward hope. So, one of the things Napoleon talks about is the determination alone is not enough when it comes to persistence. It's just not enough. But persistence and perspiration, which is our actions, our thoughts that are connected to our desired, our definite major purpose, our passion and desire, is an unbeatable combination for success. So when we look forward, actually, an unyielding determination is what fuels us to have extraordinary achievements. I'm going to say that again. An unyielding determination is what fuels us for extraordinary achievements. And I'm going to throw in an example is that I remember so many times in my life, and specifically one where I was absolutely had quit my job to work full time in a nonprofit for 12 years, and it was in the middle of a downturn in the economy, and it was where we had to move and make some really hard decisions, and I was the CFO at the time, and so I pulled myself off of payroll, which was interesting. However, I ended up getting a job in corporate, and that's why I could do that. And I still did the work because I had a passion for the organization. I was going the extra mile. So I still supported them. I still worked there. I still went there because it was what fed me. So then what happened is something happened to that organization. And in the middle of everything, I decided to come back and work for a government. And I had to turn in, and this is 200 applications before I got a job. I had the education, I had the experience, I was known. However, it took 200 applications. So that was persistence. Every day, walking into a very interesting, kind of toxic situation with someone that was who they were. And it took me establishing a way, okay, 5 days, every day I did 5 applications. I came in early, I worked and did more than my job. But the persistence for me to do it, knowing that I was one of the best candidates that put in the application, knowing that I was going to fight hard and make sure that once the job was obtained, that I would do beyond anything they can imagine, knowing all of that. So the question is, what do we know personally that we know that we're excellent at, but it doesn't look like it's happening? So there is the natural truth of me doing the work every day, right? And then there is the hope, the persistence, the faith that no matter what it looks like in the natural, my truth was I was going to get hired. And I did. I got hired and ended up working in Washington. If I had taken or gotten those other positions that I was applying for, I wouldn't be where I am today. So persistence is part of the process to lead to ordinary, no, extraordinary success and achievements. When we can't trace what's happening in our life, the persistence will cause us to move forward. And persistence is the emotional power, the hope to move forward. It's the ability to triumph over whatever we're dealing with in the moment, to move forward in such a way that we act like it's already done, no matter what it is. It's persistence is the essence of our mindset, right? Not just our pocket set, not just our hand set, it's our heart set. How we connect to things from a heart perspective. Knowing in our hearts that it is done, no matter what we see in the natural. Persistence is the thing that causes people to get up in the morning and do things that other people won't do. To achieve extraordinary things. To impact people's lives and to serve. There's a price of persistence. Not a dollar amount necessarily, even though that's part of it. It's going to cost you time. It's going to cost us energy. It's going to cost us emotions. It's going to cost us to be persistent. When you look back and you think, I look at a couple of people that really, actually Napoleon Hill lifts them up. One is the fact that when you go into an area and you know that you have the answer to the problem, and you go through, let's say, 10,000 tries. That's right, I'm talking about Edison. 10,000 tries of what not to do to get the one thing that you knew that could be accomplished. And look at the impact. That's why I said with persistence and extraordinary success, it's about serving others, is how it's going to impact not just our lives personally, but how it's going to impact others. And to embrace that kind of persistence drives us where other people may not understand why we're doing what we're doing. However, we know it's something deep inside you that encourages you to move forward, regardless to other people's opinion, regardless to what's happening. And when you think about Think and Grow Rich and the persistence that it took for Napoleon to literally go through, even though he had letters of introduction, to meet these people, to get this information, and to even in the midst of it, it always didn't show up in his life, even though he knew. And this is one of my favorite things about, one of my favorite quotes from Napoleon Hill, is in every adversity or defeat is an equal or greater opportunity. That speaks to persistence. Persistence is the opportunity to move forward, the opportunity to grow, the opportunity to live the life that you've always imagined, to impact the people that you've always thought of. When I went to Africa, there was this saying. They said, 1,000,000 dreams are keeping me awake. Think about that. I actually think they said 1,000, but for me, it's over 20 million dreams are keeping me awake. Not keeping me awake in the natural sense, keeping me emotionally awake, keeping me to persist and move forward, causing me to connect to organization like NHI. Millions of dreams are keeping me alert and causing me not to drift. And when I see myself going somewhere that might look a little drifty, causes me to realign my life, because there's millions of dreams that in other people's lives that we are the guide for, that's keeping us awake, keeping us energized, keeping us to move forward in persistence. So that inner passion and that inner fire drives us strategically and specifically toward our definite major purpose. And so it's not me being married to the plan. Because had I been married to the plan, I would be somewhere else doing something else. However, being married to the purpose, being married to the destiny, being married to what I see, even though I can't touch it. I feel, even though I can't touch it yet. I know it exists. I know that there are millions and billions of lives. And as we continue to be persistent, as we continue individually, collectively, to move forward, and the thing that we've been called to do, because everybody's thing is not my thing, and it doesn't have to be. A matter of fact, it doesn't need to be. But for the collaborative minds, for people that are like-minded, think about the synergy that comes together and the power, like dynamite, that is directed toward our definite major purpose. That is what persistence is connected to. That's how we impact nations. That's how we impact the world. We persistently move forward one day at a time. We consistently get up and move forward and drive. No longer grinding, but driven to the point that we know our faith, our persistence, and our definite major purpose is intertwined in such a way that it cannot be unlocked. And that's what it is for me. Fanning the flame of persistence means I hear and I see things that are connected to what I'm driven toward. Fanning the flames means on a daily basis, I establish things and move in a direction that would cause me to be the person that I see. So who is the person that you see? And are you individually, collectively, looking, searching, believing, and willing to be driven by your persistence to move forward and accomplish your definite major purpose, to accomplish the thing that you see, the thing that is keeping you awake, the thing that you were designed and created to accomplish, the problem that you were designed and created to solve. It may be a huge thing, but it's never bigger than you are. So use persistence, as I conclude, use persistence as a power and a force to drive you. Include your faith, embrace your hope as you move forward and continue to what? Think and grow rich.